There shall be a silent prayer for meditation. Thank you. You may be seated. Honorable members, good morning. Are there any member statements? Honorable Tabete.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The ANC would like to appreciate the National Department of Social Development, which has established a waste management center to benefit unemployment, women abuse, and youth of Manyeveni near White River. The Deputy Minister, Okgopane Zulu, says the pilot project is aimed at changing the condition rural women in villages by collecting waste for income. Siyati-ke kakhulu somlomo ukuthi bantu bakithi labahlala emakhaya abasebenzi bayadinga ukuthi uhulumende wabo aba-create-ele mathuba emsebenzi. Le center leyo itawu-create-ke noma itawuvula emathuba emsebenzi lalinganiselwa ku-250 lata ube asita bomake wethu asita bantu labasha bethu ikakhulu kakhulu ba assiste ku creator indzaba yemathuba emsebenzi lapha emakhaya lapha edute nakabhokweni. Sing ANC siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi minister uyabona ukuthi sikhona sidingo sokuthi bafike nasenzaweni lefana nasemanyeveni lapho kungisemakhaya khona kunceda abantu bakithi. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga, Honorable Member, Honorable Shongwe, MEC for Social Development.
Somlom, ngiyabonga lithuba longiniketa lona. Sithanda nathi si-department kubongela umphakathi waseMpumalanga kulomsebenzi lomuhle lowendiwe ngu-Deputy Minister. Angisho somlomo ukuthi ngiyile ngayofika kule center kwendiwa i-recycling ukuthi into letidzala njengemabhodlela tikotela letilahlwako emphakathini abaticoce bomake labangasebenzi kanye nemalunga emphakathi batiyise lapha for i-recycling ukuze bathole lokuthide lokuya ngasethunjini. Sebacalile vele somlomo bayasebenta. Siyathemba ukuthi lamathuba lacisha tawufikelela ku-250 latawuvuleka atawusita umphakathi kakhulu umphakathi waseManyeveni. Akunogcina lapho msakati kusahlongotwa lenye i-recycling center letawendiwa eMgobodzi eNkomazi. Sithanda kusho ukuthi siyabonga lusito lelivela ku-National Department especially through u-Deputy Minister Mkhatshwa Zulu.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Any other member statement? Honorable Masilela.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to table a member statement on behalf of the African National Congress to express our serious concerns with the recent spate of violent attacks on both our hospital patients and staff by criminal elements. A week ago, a doctor was manhandled by a member of the public in KwaMhlanga Hospital. This unfortunate incident clearly exposed our medics to a precarious position which resulted in ordinary civilians not receiving medical care and attention as medics and other staff embarked on an immediate strike. Honorable Speaker, recently an admitted patient with gunshot wounds was admitted at Emalahleni Hospital only to be followed by his assailants to the hospital where he was subsequently shot at again, this time fatally so. As the ANC, we would like to call upon both the MEC for Community Safety, Security, and Liaison together with the MEC for Health to please look into positive measures to deal with this scourge as a matter of urgency. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Manzini, MEC for Health.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, the statement raised by Honorable is correct, and indeed that's why myself and the MEC of Community Safety, Security and Liaising immediately went to Emalahleni Witbank Hospital, and of course we'd like to appreciate, because the matter, as we are raising it as a serious issue in the province, that's why the Honorable Premier has already given a directive, and today she is addressing that matter, and we're going to meet with her and affected all stakeholders so that we deal with the issue of safety in our facilities in the whole province. So we appreciate that in times like this, we do have a support from the Honorable Premier that has already taken an action in terms of resolving this matter once and for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Siyabonga. Honorable Member. Any other member statement? Honorable Nyembe.
It's unfortunate because the same motion, the same member statement, but with different view is going to be read. The EFF once again would like to send our deepest condolences to the family of all who lost their lives or got injured while in the care of our health facility because of poor security and safety. It is with great sadness
Honorable Speaker.
to mention that the same Witbank
Honorable
Hospital.
Member, just a minute, Honorable Nyembe. Honorable Chief Whip.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on a point of order. The Honorable Member said it correctly, that she is repeating what Honorable
No, sir.
Masilela has said.
With
So
a-
this
with
is
a
a point of
different-
order.
with
If
a
the
different
member
view.
could please sit
Honorable,
down.
Honorable Member Nyembe. Honorable Nyemba, Nyembe, would you please take your seat and listen to what the Chief Whip is saying? Then I will come back to you. You can continue, Honorable Chief Whip.
Honorable Speaker, I was indicating that the Honorable Member has said this already, that she is repeating the same statement that Honorable Masilela have already read. So we rising on a point of order that the member, the statement has already been read and the member should withdraw it. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip, for what you have raised. Honorable Member Nyembe, as you said it correctly so, when you go to Rule 81, it says a member may not propose for adoption a motion which is similar in substance as a motion already introduced during the same session. So it means that the point of order is being sustained. Thank you very much. Any other member statement? Honorable Webb.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus in the pleasant presence of my colleagues to my left-hand right, in the absence of my colleagues on the right-hand side, of whom at least one is almost never seen in these chambers. You will recall that the Amapogapoga, the Springbokker, won the Webb Ellis Trophy in stunning fashion. What we maybe did not recognize, that at least 5 of them hail from our province. They are Dwayne Vermeulen, Faftekter, Trevor Nyakane, Kwaga Smith, and Sibusiso Nkosi. The Springbok team were successful. They were members of the black community. They were members who were white players. They were successful because they were united in their diversity. I foresee that at the next World Cup, a team could be selected on merit, but all of them could be people of black color. If that happens, I will stand next to the field and I will applaud them. But I foresee that after another 4 years, another team will be selected once again on merit. And it could happen that all of them would be white players. Then I will expect that all of you will stand next to the field and applaud them. Please remember that I am telling you now, Big Daddy will be watching.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Webb. Honorable Jali.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to members of the House. We want to appreciate Honorable Member. As a department of the province, we recognize that we had 5 players in our province. Hence, the Honorable Premier has given us to go and travel and support our players. Hence, ourselves as a department, we went to Japan, Yokohama, we supported them, and we made sure that it is known that 5 of them are from the Mpumalanga province. Hence, as a department, we further said it will be unfair for the South African Rugby Union not to recognize the other provinces, because what we have noticed is that the Ellis Cup was touring the coastal province and only came to Gauteng province. We were saying as 5 provinces, as Mpumalanga, Northern Cape, Western Cape, Limpopo, and Northwest, we are part of South Africa. Hence, we've petitioned and we've written to them, and in the Minimec that we attended on Saturday in eThekwini, we got a response that the union has said they are reviewing. The cup would be coming to provinces where they did not, because why can't we celebrate FAF? FAF is from our province. It has never happened. And yesterday when I conducted an interview in Rise FM, I said he's one of the trending players because he greeted the royal house with his swimsuit. He's from Mpumalanga. And also further, the man of the match is from Mpumalanga. So we should be given and be proud of ourselves that we have delivered and we are supporting them. And we want to fully agree with you that we would support the selection of players on their capabilities, not to say they are making us a favor. Those players that were on the field, they displayed the knowledge of the sport and were saying, Siya Kolisi, you name them from the province, they've performed irrespective of being black or white. And hence we're saying we support selection on merit, selection on color, no favor. That's where we're heading. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Any other member statement? If there is none, we're now moving to executive statement. I have not received anything on that in that regard. We're moving to motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Mlombo.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to move a motion without notice for this Honorable House to congratulate the Department of Human Settlement and the Steve Tshwete municipality for a progressive move taken by both the Department of Human Settlement and the Steve Tshwete municipality to give first priority to the elderly and the child-headed families in the allocation of RDP houses. Noting that, Honorable Speaker, about 100 newly built RDP houses in Somapepa village in Steve Tshwete benefited mostly the elderly citizen and child-headed families. About 200 more units are about to be completed, and most of these units will be allocated to our senior citizens. Further noting that, Honorable Speaker, most of our senior citizens in the province are breathing through their wounds as houses are allocated mostly to young men and women. The voice of the elderly and the orphans is finally heard, and we hope this will be a good example for other municipalities in the province. Honorable Speaker, as the African National Congress, we therefore move that this House encourage all our municipalities to give preference to the elderly citizens and orphans, including homeless people, when allocating RDP houses to our people. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mlombo. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? Yes, so agreed. Any other motions without notice? Honorable Zedibe.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. Ngisukuma njengelunga lehlonipheke kakhulu kundlula wonke amalunga la khona la. To raise a motion without notice about the high level of farm eviction, especially in the farms under Mkhatshwa and Tabachewu municipalities. Old land tenants who were born, lived, and who have been farming in those farms, such as Nodin Farm and Donkerhoek Farm. The white racist farmers who claim to be new owners of the farms uses the cost to evict the poor people without considering the Bill of Rights, as per the Chapter 2 of the Constitution, both Act 33 and 34. We call upon the government to assist these people as they don't have money to hire lawyers to represent them in the High Court, as their cases are already in the court. And I so believe, Honorable Speaker, that the Premier's office was commissioned a commission to look on the conditions of the farm dwellers and farm workers, and there's a report in that regard. So we must use it to assist these people. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? Yes, so agreed. Thank you very much. Any other motions without notice? Honorable Luisi.
Somlomo lohloniphekile. Ya ngikhumbula inkosi Somhlola. Somlomo lohloniphekile sinhlangano lebusako iANC sincoma umsebenzi weliphiko lemaphoyisa eMahawks abambisene nelitiko letasekhaya ekutheni kubanjwe abasolwa lababili labasolwa ngekukhwabanisa imali enkantolo lenkulu ehhovisini lemgcinimafa. Munye walabasolwa kuthiwa usebenta ehhovisini lemgcinimafa kanzi lomunye kusolwa ukuthi usingani sakhe lesingummeli kusolwa ukuthi lo dzadze bekathumela timali tema-claimants kulesithandzani sakhe semmeli, ma-claimants agcine angakayitholi imali yawo bese bona bobabili bayabelana. Imali lekusolwa ukuthi yebelwe imindeni lesiphohlongo 8 ibalelwa ku 1.7 million. Kusenjalo Somlomo kubikwa ukuthi Luphenyo lwetiko letasekhaya luvete kutsi lo msebenti wembuso kwangatsi ungumchamuki. Akasiyeke wekudzabuka kuleli. Emaphoyisa anxusa labangabhadalwa ama-claim abo kutsi batsintse Kapteni Mandla Mphephethe ku 071 481 3295. Kusolwa kutsi kungendeka imali leyebiwe iyadlula kulo 1.7 million lobikiwe. Basolwa batawuvela enkantolo yesigodzi salapha eMbombela khona batobukana nemacala lebatfwesa ona ekukhwabanisa, kuhweba ngemali ngalokungekho emtsetfweni, kucamba manga ngebuve bakho nekuphula umtsetfo we-immigration. Lo mmeli kungendeka akhishwe naseluhlwini lwemtimba longamele bameli. Kungendeka akhishwe kulomtimba longamele bameli uma kungendeka alahlwe macala. Ngiyabonga Somlo.
Sibonge nathi. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agree to? So agreed. Any other motions without notice? Honorable Nyembe.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on behalf of the EFF to raise the disappointment and sadness about the way in which the Utingo Park Dingindoda was handled. We have the ignorant Agas House, which claims to care about our community, while they care about their stomachs. We raised this motion 4 months ago, even after pleading with the ANC Chief Whip to discuss this matter, but we were denied the opportunity until those communities were evicted last week on Wednesday. If that project was not one of their money-making schemes, maybe, just maybe, we were going to discuss this in this House. Thank you.
Thank you. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
The motion stays defeated. Honorable Shongwe, you are the last.
Ngiyabonga Somlo. Sinhlangano ye-ANC sithanda ukukhuta umkhuba lomubi lokwendekako emphakathini yakithi lesibone seyivamile kulamalanga. eBushbuckridge kunemfana lona 13 years lobanjiwe wajujwa linyawo. Ngikhuluma nje usesibhedlela. eSkumansdal intombazane lena 17 years ishiswe yaba ngumlotha kwasala emathambo langu4 yiboyfriend yayo. Lesihluku lesingaka umgangadzile ngemphini wamlayisha ngelibhara wayomfihla ngasedamu walanza matrasi waphosa tinkuni etulu walayitha. Lusuku lokucala washa lihlangothi wabuyela ngelanga lesibili wayomgucula walanza petrol kwesibili wamshisa nakulelo hlangothi waze waba mlotha. Lokubhlungu kakhulu labantwana besikolo labo bafunza eMahlathi high school. Futhi kusesenjalo eMzindi ngemgcibelo ekseni tilamani letimbili lesinye lesingakhulumi lesithi pheceleti ngesilungu simute noma ligama lelijwayelekile kuthiwa uyimbebebe. Lo mfana lomunye longibhuti wakhe uvele wavuka ekseni bambona alola bobhusha nemikhwa. Makwakhe watfuka waphuma wagijima wathi usayofonela labanye abantu abakhe. Nakabuya wathola ukuthi lomunye mfana longakhulumi somgabelo wamgabela wambulala. Abese-ke maphoyisa eMmango noma singathi CPF yamgijimisa yamthola bahamba naye epolice station ngelishwa ube sufika nayo uyacollapse uyafa lapha epolice station. Ngikhuluma nje lo make sobukene nekungcwaba abantu abakhe lababili. Sibonge kakhulu uDeputy Minister ngokuthi abambe i-Boys Assembly lapha eBushbuckridge. Lapho kufanele kufundiswe khona abantwana bebafana ngokuthi Nkosi yami
Sebentela kuceda MEC.
ngokuthi Nkosi yami akwehle lokubulawa kwemantombazana. Namantombazana wawabone ama-signs makukhona labakusolako basheshe babaleke kulama relationships. Ekuseni egwalagwaleni bebakhuluma ukuthi amantombazana adlada imali tema-boyfriend kanzi ngeke babagane bese bagcina sebababulele. Nako lokho siyakukhuta ukuthi akungendeki. Siboma-ke baseMpumalanga sishaceke kakhulu ngalokubulawa kwemantombazana lakasesemancane. Siyakhuta siyinhlangano ye-ANC ukuthi awuphele lo mkhuba lo mubi.
Thank you very much. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agree to? So, so agreed. Thank you very much. Honorable members, let me remind members that Rule 83, Sub-Rule 4, provides that motions without notice should not be more than 2 minutes. Going forward, we need to stick to the 2 minutes that is given to us. Thank you very much. We are now moving to notices of motion. Are there any notices of motion? Honorable Sedibe.
Ngiyabonga Somlo. Noting a report Statistician General ngokusolakala kwemathuba emsebenzi eMpumalanga. Lebeka iMpumalanga number 1 ngokusolakala kwemathuba emsebenzi in terms of unemployment rate. Ngimuva ukuthi lento le yeshamthetho ithathe ama-plus langasetshenziswa inike labo make laba nalabo bhutwethu laba ngasebenzi ngoba lokuba kwabo laba ngalesikhathi lesatheni sho ukuthi abasebenzi thina sisemsebenzini la obhuti nabo sesingalemva basemsebenzini bona barontile because kude le bangakwenda so asithatheni ama-plus sibanike balime batho supply i-government nutrition program sibavulela imarket labo Pick and Pay bo Spar so that bakhona kuphila labo makwethu nabo gogwethu nalabo seswini. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga. Thank you very much. Motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. We are now moving to formal motions. I am informed that there are no formal motions. We will now proceed with the orders of the day. The Secretary shall read the first order of the day. Secretary.
Order number, excuse me. Order number 1, introduction and tabling of Mpumalanga Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2019.
I now call upon the MEC for Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, the Honorable P.S. Ngomana, to deliver the introductory speech and table the Mpumalanga Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2019. Honorable Ngomana.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Premier, Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, colleagues in the Executive Council, honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, acting chairperson of the governing party, Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, and the leadership of the Tripartite Alliance, MDM Structures and PYA, executive mayors, MMCs, and the councillors, chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders, Nkosi Ngomane, and other esteemed members present. Director General, Mr. Matthew Mkhatshwa, and all our HODs, municipal managers, chief financial officers, business executive of the Office of Auditor General in Mpumalanga, representatives of organized labor, business, civil society, and media. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my distinct honor to table the first adjustment appropriation of the sixth administration to this august house this morning. In tabling this budget, we are mindful of the reasonable societal expectation to reflect on and embrace renewed mandate given to this administration following the national and provincial general election held last May. Underpinning this budget is the resolution of the African National Congress to ensure that fiscal policy related decisions continue to promote an inclusive economy towards ensuring a shared prosperity and indeed a better life for all our people. Critically, we continue to be inspired by the late and former president of the ANC, Oliver Reginald Tambo, who said, open quotes, whilst our policies were in terms of our beliefs and conviction, they also reflected and served the people's interest. Above all, we sought to make the people part and parcel of our decision, close quotes. In a very challenging economic environment where our country is facing a crippling and increasing rate of unemployment, which sits at 29%. The implication of this is that we have to redouble our efforts if we are going to win the battle against poverty and inequality, which collectively make up what we call the triple challenges facing our country. More importantly, as President Tambo challenged us, we must continue to make the people being part and parcel of our decision. According to the International Monetary Fund, global growth is forecast at 3% for 2019. It's lowest since 2008-09 and at 0.3% point downgrade from the April 2019 World Economic Outlook. In the same vein, the World Bank notes that trade tension continue to cast a dark shadow over the global economic growth forecast. Protectionism is now a reality in countries such as United States of America, as evidenced by the trade war with China and United Kingdom, demonstrated by their zeal to pursue Brexit. One will be forgiven to think that US and UK are taking a back to past approach because they are struggling to contend with the effects of their own globalization model. As indicated by the Minister of Finance, Honorable Tito Mboweni, the South African economy is now expected to grow at only 0.5% for this year and only at 1.2% for 2020. The downward revision of growth is informed by negative growth rates in agriculture, construction, transport in the first and second quarters of this year. Fortunately, mining and trade escaped from this recession in the second quarter of the current year. At the provincial level, growth rate was below percent in 2018, and we expect it to be in line with the national growth prospect this year. We also expect the average annual provincial growth rate to be relatively low at the level of 1.6% between 2018 and 2023. Honorable Speaker, we are concerned about the weak economic performance of our 4 municipal areas, which contribute almost 70% to the Mpumalanga economy. This is the city of Mbombela, Emalahleni, Steve Tshwete, and Govenbeek. All experience growth rates of 1% or less per annum between 2014 and 2018. This challenging economic environment also had a negative impact on provincial unemployment and job creation. According to the latest quarterly labor force survey of the Statistics South Africa, while the provincial unemployment rate increased to 35.3% in the third quarter of 2019, there were marginal improvements in terms of job creation in the last year, quarter 3 of 2018 to quarter 3 of 2019. 52,420 jobs were created in the last year, with relative high gains in finance, mining, community services, and agriculture. There were, however, significant job losses in the same period in especially utilities, manufacturing, construction, trade, and transport, putting a damper on positive development in terms of job creation in the province, resulting in net job creation of only 2,062 jobs in this period. To this end, we must work closely with business, civil society, and other relevant stakeholders to change the provincial economic landscape through a strategic partnership and catalytic programs such as industrial technology parks, renewable energy, independent power producing program, as well as the Special Economic Zone program. Even more critical, we must analyze the socio-economic impact of the global and domestic push towards renewable energy. Now that National Cabinet has approved the Integrated Resource Plan 2019, we must work with necessary speed and resolve to ensure its implementation for the benefit of the people of Mpumalanga. As the first president of Free South Africa, the late President Nelson Mandela once said, open quote, "Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got up again," close quote. We must and we will achieve provincial growth rates for more than 4% in Mpumalanga again in years to come, like we had before the 2008-2009 recession. Our province too will rise again. Honorable Speaker, the provincial government will continue to support the national economic and fiscal policies that aim to advance the interests of the whole society and to manage the risks to the fiscal outlook as indicated in the 2019 medium-term budget policy statement. This adjustment budget reaffirms this broad agenda of government, which aims to stimulate the economy and reignite the potential of our people in pursuance of shared and inclusive economic growth. Through the support of my colleagues in the Executive Council, 216.8 million has been identified and reprioritized to fund emerging and unavoidable pressures to enable the government to deliver services to our communities. Accordingly, the main appropriation will be increased by 135 million, thereby increasing the provincial budget to 51.1 billion for the year ending 31 March 2020. Honorable Speaker, let me briefly highlight some of the priorities that informed this adjustment budget. In her State of the Province address on the 5th of July 2019, the Honorable Premier, Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, defined a vision for the province where all who live in Mpumalanga shall, amongst others, have access to decent employment, adequate sanitation, clean drinking water, quality health care, and decent shelter. She said, and I quote, "Our people have given us a fresh mandate to go back and work even harder in combating the complex challenges facing our province and our country," close quote. It is in this context that we proposed adjustments to the main budget tabled in March earlier this year. Firstly, to respond to few commitments of 6 administration, and secondly, to address within the fiscal space spending pressures in critical service delivery areas. Honorable Speaker, youth unemployment in South Africa already stands above 55% and more than 32% in Mpumalanga. If indeed the youth are the future of this country, we must, as stakeholders from different sectors of the economy, recognize the urgency of escalating youth unemployment as a national emergency. The Honorable Premier recognized this when she announced the establishment of the Youth Fund in July 2019. To kickstart this provincial intervention, 10 million is allocated to the Youth Fund with the intention to progressively increase government's contribution over MTSF period. We call upon the business sector and civil society to contribute to the fund and support its strategic objective. Speaker, the road towards the attainment of total liberation of mind starts in our homes, further nurtured and developed at schools, and enriched at higher learning institutions, and continuous sharpened in the society by our society. In our quest to provide an inclusive and accessible education system, 173 million is allocated for planning and design of a school for deaf. Optimal resourcing of boarding school, enhancement of maths laboratories as part of scaling the MSTA program, as well as augmenting the much needed supply of learner-teacher support material in our schools. The Premier has resuscitated that Nkomazi Economic Zone is one of the prime projects that will unlock economic opportunities and change the landscape of our industrial development. To this end, 35 million is added to the baseline of the Department of Economic Development and Tourism towards securing the Nkomazi SEZ development of its strategic blueprint, establishment of actual SEZ entity, and sourcing of relevant technical skill to see to its functionality and get it off the ground. I will now turn to changes in budget allocation for the year ending 31 March 2020. The budget of the Office of the Premier increases from 296.3 million to 304 million to cover the establishment of the Youth Fund as indicated earlier. The provincial legislature retains 15 million as well as 1.8 million of own revenue collection in 2018-19 financial year in accordance with section 22(1) of PFMA. The budget of the provincial legislature will increase from 374.8 million to 391.8 million. The allocation to the provincial treasurer will be reduced from 365.6 to 354 million following the shifting of part of the infrastructure delivery management system to the National Department of Public Works, while the other portion will augment funds for municipal support in order to realize maximum impact in the 2020-2021 financial year. The Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs will get 80 million additional fund. This fund will be directed towards procurement of vehicles for traditional leaders, subsidy to houses of traditional leaders and IMMEMO, replenishment of stock related to disaster management for the next 3 years. Amongst others. The baseline for the department will now move from 526 million to 606 million. The baseline of the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs is adjusted downwards from 1,222 to 1,207 in the main due to changes in conditional grants and reprioritize of savings out of the vote. Due to the rescheduling of 213.2 million allocated for the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market, the budget for the Department of Economic Development and Tourism is reduced from 1.261 million to 1.081 billion, 1.81 million. We aim for maximum impact in delivering on these projects in the 2020-2021 MTEF period. The Department of Education received additional funding which increases the budget from nearly 21.9 billion to just over 22 billion. Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport will get 95 million for roads upgrades, maintenance of the Riverside Government Complex, and paving of municipal roads as produced in the first state of the province address of the 6th administration. Due to the savings that are reprioritized out of the vote and conditional grant, roll over, the budget of the department will see a net increase from 5.456 million to 5.458 million. The Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison is allocated 10 million for process relating to takeover of licensing function from certain municipalities. A further 5 million from the Department of Health will be added to this department baseline for the provision of additional security personnel for health facilities. Accordingly, the baseline of the department will see a net increase from 1.354 billion to 1.367 billion. Due to the new reform in the sector, conditional grants, the Department of Health has to get a gain of 33.7 million from this funding. After careful assessment of hospital construction program, funds worth 130 million have been rescheduled to 2020-2021 financial year. Thus, the vote sees a net reduction of baseline from 14.387 to 14.281. The Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation will get additional 8 million towards its pressures. The department baseline will, however, see a net reduction from 544.4 million to 486.3 million due to rescheduling of 49 million to the 2021 financial year, and 20 million for the High Altitude Center moved from implementation of bulk infrastructure on site by the Department of Human Settlement. The net effect of the decrease in the budget of Department of Social Development decreases from 1.657 to 1.647 is due to savings on compensation of employees. The Department of Human Settlement will receive 204 million 409 for the completion of sewer spillage project in Kavenbeki municipality and bulk works at High Altitude Center and Parliamentary Village, amongst others. The baseline of the department will move from 1.674 to 1.878. Honorable Speaker, we appeal to all accounting officers to explore spending efficiencies, ensure that the budget responds to the needs of the communities, and help in ameliorating the fiscal risk as indicated in the 2019 medium-term budget policy statement. We are encouraged to learn that departments have put in place cost containment measures and are vigorously implementing them in the current financial year while we support and monitor their implementation. As I conclude, I would like to thank the Premier, Honorable Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, for your leadership during the preparation of this adjustment budget, my colleagues in the Budget and Finance and Executive Council for your unwavering support. Chairperson and members of the Portfolio Committee on the Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, I appreciate your guidance. I thank profusely the acting head department of Provincial Treasurer, Ms. Kukumashite, provide the provincial government. Last but not least, I would like to thank my family for standing by me and the African National Congress for believing in me always. Speaker, I hereby, on behalf of the Executive Council, table the following documents. And the documents are the provincial adjustment budget speech for 2019-2020, adjustment appropriation bill for 2019-20, and adjustment estimate of provincial revenue expenditure for 2019-20, provincial economic review and outlook for 2019-20. I so move, and thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC, for the well-delivered speech. The Mpumalanga Provincial Adjustment Budget Speech 2019-2020, the electronic copies, Mpumalanga Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2019, Mpumalanga Adjustment Estimates of Provincial Revenue and Expenditure 2019, stand referred to the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism for consideration and report back to the House. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the second order of the day.
Order number, order number 2. Consideration of the reports of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism. 2.1, Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Office of the Premier, Vote 1. 2.2, Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency, MTPA. 2.3, Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency, MEGA. 2.4, Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Economic Development and Tourism, Vote 6. 2.5, Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Provincial Treasurer, Vote 3. 2.6, Oversight held in Komazi Local Municipality, Ehlanzeni District Municipality, 15 October 2019, Mahushe Shongwe Nature Reserve, MTPA. 2.7, Oversight held in Komazi Local Municipality, Ehlanzeni District Municipality, 25 October 2019, Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market, MEGA. 2.8, Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Mpumalanga Economic Regulator, MER.
Thank you very much. I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism, Honorable M. Lakshmi Narain, to table this report. Honorable Lakshmi Narain.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to table the report as stated on behalf of the Portfolio Committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism.
Thank you very much. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt this report as tabled by Honorable M. Lakshmi Narain. Agreed to? And so agreed. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the third order of the day. Secretary.
Order number 3. Consideration of the report of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 3.1 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Human Settlements. Vote 13. 3.2 Annual Reports for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. Vote 4.
Thank you very much. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable MC Masilela, to table these reports. Honorable Masilela.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee, I would like to table the report in this August House for consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable MC Masilela. Agreed to? And so agreed. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the fourth order of the day.
Order number
Secretary.
4, consideration of the reports of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Culture, Sport and Recreation. 4.1 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation. Vote 11. 4.2 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Education. Vote 7. 4.3 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Mpumalanga Regional Training Trust, MRTT.
Thank you very much. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Culture, Sports and Recreation. Honorable Sope, I've received a request that Honorable Sope will not be with us due to ill health. Then Honorable Mlombo will stand in for Honorable Sope.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of Honorable Hlope to move this report for adoption by the House. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the questions before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable Mlombo. Agreed to? So agreed. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the fifth order of the day.
Order number 5, consideration of the report of the Portfolio Committee on Health and Social Development. 5.1 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Health. Vote 10. 5.2 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Social Development. Vote 12.
Thank you very much. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Health and Social Development, Honorable J.L. Tabete, to table these reports. Honorable Tabete.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to table the report as presented.
Thank you very much. I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt these reports as tabled by Honorable J.L. Tabete. Agreed to? So agreed. Thank you very much. The Secretary shall read the sixth order of the day.
Order number 6, consideration of the reports of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and License. 6.1 Annual Report for 2018-19 financial year, Department of Community Safety, Security and License. Vote 9. 6.2 Annual Report for the 2018-19 financial year, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport. Vote 8.
Thank you. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Honorable S.K. Mashilo, to table these reports. Honorable Mashilo.
Thank you, Speaker. I move that the report presented be accepted.
Thank you. I am informed that there is no debate on these reports. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the reports as tabled by Honorable S.K. Mashilo. Agreed to? and so is agreed. Thank you very much. The secretary shall read the seventh order of the day.
Order number 7, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, annual report for 2018-19 financial year, Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, Fort 5.
Thank you very much. I now call upon the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, Honorable T.M. Makaringe, to table this report. Honorable Makaringe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Portfolio Committee, I rise to table the report before the House as presented.
Thank you very much. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agreed to adopt this report as tabled by Honorable T.M. Makaringe. Agreed to? As so agreed. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of today's business. Let me take this opportunity and thank the Honorable Premier, Margaret Philem Mtsweni-Tsipane, siyabonga kakhulu ndunankulu ukuba khona phakathi kwethu, and also to thank the work that your MEC are doing. It shows that they are under the good leadership and you are supervising them very well. Thank you very much for that. Angithathele ithuba futhi ngibonge upholo obukhona ngaphakathi kwethu, upholo bukaKhongolose okungena yena ohola ugovernment wethu, ubaba uMandla Ndlovu. Ngibonge futhi kakhulu izivakashi zethu. Honorable Premier, i-gallery yethu is full to capacity today. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi nizile ukuzoba bofakazi.
Just banika umsebenzi, speak, umsebenzi, work. Banabantwana labantu basema-university, banika umsebenzi.
Isishaya mthetho ukuthi sisebenza kanjani, ngoba masisishaya mthetho kufuneka nazi imandate yethu, senza imithetho, siphinde futhi sipromote i-public participation. Lokho kwenzeka namuhla, it's public participation ukuthi siyaniqoqa ukuze nibone ukuthi sishaya mthetho sisebenza kanjani. Siyabonga kakhulu, it's part of our mandate. Siyabonga ukuthi kunezakhamuzi la ezivela eMakhazini local municipality, Bushbuckridge local municipality, Chief Albert Luthuli local municipality, Thaba Chewu local municipality, Mbombela local municipality, and Komazi local municipality. Sibonge kakhulu. You are all requested to remain standing at your places until the procession has left the chamber. The House is now adjourned until Tuesday, the 26th of November 2019 at 14:15 in this very same chamber. Thank you.
Hearing conference mongwanin, go man. All right.